Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we are still a bit sick, so if you guys don't mind, but we actually have some pretty good news to go and upload as of today, where one of the most hated and one of the most viral men in the entire gaming sphere is now almost finally gone. Now, to not go and completely go and give it a one-sided thing, this guy also somehow got lucky with a $400 million buyout severance package, and as well, is probably on his easy way to go and retire, mainly because I believe as of right this second, he's like 61 years old, and this regards now to the Activision boss, the big old Blizzard head honcho, Bobby Kotick, who is now on his way out with the brand new Xbox takeover. So we're going to talk about this, talk about the drama, because even as of today, some of the people that worked underneath him are now calling him out, and it's one of the craziest stories in the gaming sphere as of right this second. So let's go talk about it. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch link down below, and the $500 PlayStation 5 Slim or cash giveaway. So make sure you guys join up all that and follow the socials for that one. Let's go dive on into the video itself. So first and foremost, when it comes to Bobby Kotick, if you guys don't know, he was the head honcho behind Activision Blizzard. But one big thing to know with him is that, well, the guy is a horrible, horrible person, at least based on the assumptions and everything else that's gone out in public too as well. Now, when it comes to this one, there is one big thing to know, is that he is getting a $400 million severance package. So basically, because of him, he had, number one, a lot of stock when it came to the Activision company itself, because he was there for many, many years. I think some people were saying up to like 30 years or so, but he also was underneath a lot of the influential parts of Activision Blizzard and all these other various deals. But he was getting paid a lot of money regardless, and stock options, and obviously Xbox is buying out the company, so they are buying out the stock itself. So basically over here too, this has been huge. This has been a huge, huge buyout for this one too. And one big thing to note too as well, they're saying that they are, according to the BBC, Kotick is said to receive a whopping $400 million from the sale of his shares in Activision Blizzard, while Chairman Brian Kelly will get $100 million. So since Microsoft is paying cash for the Activision at the premium price is $95 per share, and because if you're a CEO or executive, you usually do have stock options, like you'll get paid like $1 million in salaries and $10 million in stock. The better the stock does, the more money you make, so overall it makes kind of sense. But basically, people do not like him. As you guys probably know, he is also involved a lot in terms of bad controversies, cover-ups, really a lot of bad allegations too as well tied on in. So over 30 years ago, Kotick took over a struggling software company, and the gaming's greatest villain was born. Bobby Kotick is now finally departing Activision Blizzard, and this is also, like I said, not barring the drama going on, where after 32 years at the helm, his reign wasn't undone by any one incident, but the really big event was the bombshell of 2021 California civil rights lawsuit, which led to employee walkouts, calls for Kotick's resignation, and finally Microsoft's acquisition of the company too, as well getting rid of him. So it wasn't a sure thing that Kotick would get the boot once Xbox boss Phil Spencer took over, but the industry was expecting it, mainly because there was just so much negative PR in regards to everything he did. And there was actually a lot of bad stuff also turning with microtransactions in games, ruining popular series for the sake of shareholders, and as well that make a lot of sense because he made so much money off his own shares and stock that if, say, Xbox wasn't buying it out, he wants to obviously drive up the stock price the best he can, sell out the stock the best he can, and go from there. And that's why a lot of folks didn't like it, because he has this bad, cutthroat, capitalistic kind of persona with him, where he also is doing anything to make any money they possibly can. So basically, those two, they say to a lot of gamers, Kotick was the quintessential corporate villain, the go-to name if you want to talk about soulless profit-seeking at the expense of artistry and human well-being. For investors, though, the story is different. Under Kotick, a nearly bankrupt Activision became a $69 billion company, merging with Blizzard along the way. He's been an enormously successful entrepreneur, and he'll get even richer on the way out. With a golden parachute worth millions, it may not be out of date, but an old SEC filing had him walking with over $14 million, on top of all of his stock options that are now also being sold to as well. So it's one of those 50-50, where when it comes to him, he is getting extra money because obviously severance package, he's stepping down. Xbox wants to insert whoever they want to on top of the Activision deal, but as well also because he has all the stock options and they're forcefully buying out the stock, so he has to basically go and sell out the stock because there's a corporate takeover. So this guy, although everyone pretty much hates him, and I will say, just based on everything, like, just look at his face. Like, not to be, like, a hater on someone's looks, but, like, just, man, like, he just looks like an evil villain and the type of guy who would steal your lollipops, if you know what I mean. So this guy seems like just a horrible, horrible, horrible person. And on top of all the other drama, too, as well, when it comes to the gaming industry, the fact that this was allowed, they had, like, the boys club going on, and obviously the fact that they've ruined some of my favorite games. Now, I'm a big Overwatch guy myself. We're about to get some Overwatch drama, too, as well, but apparently just these big executives in the Activision case, just everywhere, the directors, executives, and everything, they just didn't really appreciate everything here. They didn't really appreciate the company, the workforce. They had a really, really negative boys club stigma when it comes to just working there. At the end of the day, there was a lot of big skepticism when it came to the company itself. Now, I'm actually going to be very thankful that Xbox is taking over because we might have another golden age because there's a lot of really good Activision games out there. They just need a little bit of that love and tender care, and please, for the love of God, bring back StarCraft. But right now, a lot of folks are saying on how much they hated him on top of this, because a lot of people wanted to have him involved, but at the same time, they say here, they even says over this one, basically Kotick was trying to go and say how he'd even really enjoy games, how he's even trying to go and sell his own mother's ashtray for a friend for $3, and kept on trying to go and scheme up any way he possibly can. And on top of that too, as well, because this was basically just $3. And I mean, obviously people did go care about him gaming and stuff like that, because Activision did have over 300 employees back in the day, and they also have really cool things too, such as having like Mech Warrior or Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but all this other type of stuff, people are just scared about this too as well. Now, either way, this guy has just not been a vibe. A lot of people are saying that they want to be, good. A lot of people are saying they want to make money. A lot of folks are saying that he's on that pure capitalistic vibe, and that makes sense. Like, look at these evil pictures, too, as well. Like, look at this. This is basically even back in the day, back in 2010. So this is like an ongoing thing. He was known as the most hated man in video games, which is ridiculous. They're saying he's taking the fun out of making video games, and basically saying that these things are just like about making as much money as they possibly can. And this is not what we like to go and see. Like, you don't want to have a boss that only says, hey, I want money. You don't want to have a boss that only cares about selling games. You don't have a boss who's only caring about the stock prices too as well. And people are even protesting against them. Like, it's just too much. Like, basically, like, imagine having an article that this is this long on how you are the most hated man in all of video games, and these are all being very, 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 like, consistent things. And on top of this, too, there's also layoffs as well, and everything just even we're hitting, like, say, Overwatch 2 launch, etc. How Overwatch League basically was ending. They had exclusive deals, trying to go make as much as they possibly can. Just everything. Like, this, people were literally riding against him. And that goes into even more bigger drama, where now even Overwatch devs are calling these people out, saying, hey, like, Bobby Kotick is finally gone. He's finally out. He also had a lot of folks in the Overwatch 2 development time and saying that basically, hey, because of your game, Overwatch 2 going down, that this is why my stock price was going down. Like, they didn't care about the game or the issues or the actual overarching issues with the game. He only cared about the fact that the stock price was somehow going down. So as a capitalist hardcore guy who's only trying to make money and not caring about the gaming industry, yeah, he did fine. But at the end of the day, they choked. Like, this guy was horrible. And this is where Overwatch devs are saying, breaking my silence to share a fun fact. When we were planning Overwatch 2 stream launch, the team warned months in advance that we're going to be review bombed. We begged for more information, more details, and more resources to help us with the anticipated influx. All of them were flatly denied, where basically everyone was trying to go and make sure the game itself would work. Moderation of Steam was put on the community team, not a function of community at Blizz, despite my refusal to want to expose members of my team to that level of toxic content in post. When asked whose decision it was to launch on Steam with no additional help, it was Bobby. This was the only one example of the culture Kotick bred at Activision, saying basically everything flowed downstream, usually landing the lowest paid and most overworked individuals. Management was too busy reacting to wildly vacillating direction and decisions that made zero sense. At the end of everything, player experience worker meant nothing to C-suite in executive leadership. It was all the quarters earning calls. So all they ever cared about was money. All they ever cared about was trying to get their stock price up. And even when they had and needed and begged for anything to help out to make these games come out, they didn't help. Like, these executives kind of just like let the game falter. And this is where I think this will be a good future for Xbox. I would love to actually make a more proper video for this, where I do think with Xbox leadership and taking out these people who only care about stock price, and more so maybe trying to go make sure something like Game Pass has consistent reoccurring subscribers and making sure games are good and making sure the overall reception of Xbox is a win. I think this is going to be a good look for the future of Xbox. And the fact that Bobby Kotick is now going away, while he didn't make millions of dollars, and I'm sure he's happy. He's probably retired. He's like 60, 61. He's going to go buy a mansion somewhere and go and hang out in Hawaii 24/7, I'm sure. But at the same time, he is now finally gone. We might have a chance to enter into a golden era of Xbox. We're going to go talk about this a little bit more maybe in separate videos, but this is really sad to see. But at the end of the day, you want to know what? Xbox is moving forward. We'll see where everything goes and takes us. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below in case you guys would like to follow, and for our $500 or PlayStation 5 giveaway, and give me your thoughts and comments all down below.